5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ready.
Just relax and enjoy the ride.
In crowd, 815. In crowd, 815. In crowd, 815. In crowd, 815. 815.
All right, Tom, I got a new name for raisins for you today. Grape jerky. Grape jerky. I'm Greg. He's Tom. This is your Crowd 815 podcast for the 12th day of July, the year 2025, the latest it's ever been.
In the history of mankind.
And the dog has joined the chat.
Yes, the dog is joined. See, I got up and I went and got coffee and a couple of waters. So, grape jerky. You know what? I do like that. I have no snappy comebacks today. That was pretty good.
Grape jerky. Yeah, you buying grape jerky at the grocery store?
I love raisins.
I do too.
I'm
a fan of both raisins, the regular ones and the white raisin ones. White. Yogurt
covered ones.
Yeah.
The crayon raisins or
crayon
raisins, they call them.
All that stuff. I'm a fan. What else am I a fan of? I'm a fan of this show, In Crowd 815 podcast. Welcome everybody. Glad to have you along. It's episode 275. If you've been with us since the beginning, it's episode 607, but we can talk about that another time. We got some great guests today, including our friend Vicki from Macktown Construction. You remember her from Urbane Design Studio. We're going to talk about what's up with her and Macktown Construction hosting our In Crowd 815 networking group at the end of this month. Before her, we'll chat with Jessica Madrid. She is the community engagement manager for the Rockford Habitat for Humanity. And you've probably heard about Habitat for Humanity for a long, long time. Maybe you've wondered exactly what they are all about. Jessica is going to fill us in. Now, before we do that, though, we do have a little bit of business to take care of. We need to start from zeros because Tom won the last race to 10 by a score of 10-8. Way to go, Tom. Way to go.
Thank you, everybody. I'd like to thank the Academy.
They had nothing to do with this. Our big number of the week this week is a really big number. It's 4 trillion. That is with a T. 4 trillion. The answer is first or food. First or food. Put your guess in the comments what you think our big number of the week has to do with anything. And if you win this week, one lucky winner will win this, a Drive 815 free carload pass, courtesy of Fresh Prince of Loves Park. They still have like 6 or 7 movies that they're showing outdoor theater style out on Old River Road in Rockton. And I believe this Friday is their next one. I believe it's an animated movie. I can't remember exactly which one it was. But check out Drive 815 on Facebook. They are not affiliated with In Crowd 815. Just a wonderful people doing a wonderful thing in the 815 area, and we like promoting it. And also thanks to Fresh Prince of Rockford for Loves Park. Sorry, Fresh Prince of Loves Park. At least I didn't say Bel Air. For helping to make this all possible and giving away these free carload passes. It's $25 for a carload to go in and see these movies. So this pass gets your full carload in for free. Awesome. All right. So our first guest of the week, Tom, is a part of this outfit right here, Habitat for Humanity. And we're going to learn all about it from our new friend, Jessica Madrid, who joins us from where are you today, Jessica? Where are you hiding at today?
Oh, I'm home in Rockford, so closer to like where the Northtown Mall is. Yeah.
Awesome.
Neat. Okay.
We're going to put you on the big side of the screen and give you your logo and ask you to tell us about yourself. Where did you grow up and go to school, and what career arc led you to Habitat for Humanity?
Yeah. First off, thanks so much for having us today. We were really excited to be here. I'm originally from Kansas City, Missouri. So I was born and raised there. My family's from there. I kind of moved to Rockford, Illinois in 2018. a little bit about like my educational background. I did go to college, but I didn't finish my degree.
Where
I
did you
just
go to
knew.
high school? We want to know what your high school mascot was.
Oh, okay. Raytown Blue Jays. Yeah.
The Raytown Blue Jays. That sounds cool.
Yeah. No, it's not too bad. We
I
had
believe
three
I
high
saw them in concert once.
Oh, is this a band?
No,
Oh.
that's just our old running joke.
When we don't have anything to
You
tease
could
you
have.
about, when we can't tease you about your mascot, how do we tease you about a Blue Jay? There's nothing to tease you about. So we'll just say it was a band. It must have been a band.
I'm very sad that he was depressed though. That's all I can say.
Well, I did go to Raytown High School. I graduated in 2016. Shortly after graduating, I did attend university, went to University of Central Missouri, where I had jumped around for a couple of different majors, but finally settled on public relations. But unfortunately, due to the high cost of education, I was not able to continue. I started doing some fundraising for nonprofits. So like the American Civil Liberties Union, Doctors Without Borders, and Southern Poverty Law Center in Kansas City, Missouri. And that's where I met my partner. He had the opportunity to move to Rockford in 2018. And so I took it with him. And then from there, we did a lot of community organizing with some political campaigns around that time. And then from there, I became a paralegal for consumer law for a little while. And well, just before becoming a paralegal, I actually applied to work with Rockford Area Habitat. I did not get the position at that time, but I knew there was something greater coming for me in the long run. So I just took some time to really work on myself and my organizational skills. And then I was able to reapply for the position just about a year ago in 2024. And now I'm here as the community engagement manager for Rockford Area Habitat.
So when people meet you for the first time, Jessica, and they ask you, what is Habitat for Humanity? How do you distill everything Habitat for Humanity does into a short little conversation with someone you just met for the first time? What do you tell them?
Yeah, so I really like to think about Habitat for Humanity, or at least Rockford Area Habitat for Humanity, as three different companies wrapped into one. So first and foremost, we are a mortgage lender. We offer a 0% interest mortgage loan to qualifying home buyers.
Hold the phone. You're a mortgage lender? What?
Yeah. So when you get a Habitat home, you have a mortgage, and that mortgage is directly through Rockford Area Habitat. So we do partner with the bank Northwest Bank, who helps us manage some of those mortgage portfolios, but we have our homeowner services manager in our office, Ruby, and she is the go-to individual for your Habitat mortgage, learning a little bit more information about escrow, so on and so forth when you are ready to close on your home.
Okay. Oh, well, that alone is probably something that's a light bulb for a lot of people. It's like, yeah, you're getting a house, but you're still getting a house with a mortgage on it. So when somebody is quote unquote awarded a Habitat house, are they making mortgage payments in some way, shape, or form, or are they truly gifted at 100%?
So it is them who are financially buying the house. So it is a loan that they take out. We try to build our homes anywhere from like $150,000 to $180,000. And then we have those homes appraised for real market value when we're ready to sell them. And then when we sell those homes, our homeowner services manager will work with the home buyer to see if there are any additional grants that they can qualify for that will help take off that price point. So like if we get a home appraised for $190,000, we're going to sell it for $190,000, but we're going to work with that homeowner to see if there are any additional grants that they may be able to qualify for, whether it's from their employer, the city, the state, or even a federal grant that they may be able to qualify for, which will take off thousands of dollars from that big dollar price point of $190,000.
Okay. Because I don't know about you, Tom, but that probably is one of those things that people misunderstand about Habitat for Humanity homes. I think the perception out there is that it's just a gifted home that someone gets free and clear, and that's not the case.
Well, we both learned something new today, because I thought that very same thing. Like, well, how do they get a free home? Why didn't I get a free home or whatever? But it's not a free home. No. You know what? There's nothing. There are no free lunches. Nothing is free, to be honest with you. I mean, you got to dig a little deeper sometimes before we run our mouths. We all do that. Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't. I know I do sometimes.
So
So I learned something new. That's
if
good.
somebody is considering or wants to apply to be a part of the next giveaway for a night, and I shouldn't use the word giveaway, really, should I? To apply to receive a Habitat built home, what does the process look like for them? Is it pretty long and complicated? Is there people to help? How does that look?
I don't think it's very long or complicated. It's very similar to any other mortgage application that you would do with a traditional bank. We just have different ways of making sure an individual can qualify for it. So first and foremost, we're going to look at your financial qualifications. We're going to make sure that you can financially be able to afford a home. So one thing that we'll look at is your credit report, but we're going to take your credit score with a grain of salt. We don't really care about the number itself. What we want to know is, what is your relationship with debt like? What is your debt to income ratio? We want to make sure that your debt to income ratio is probably no greater than 41%. We're also going to look for any bankruptcies, foreclosure, collection items on your credit report. And then if you have student loans, we're going to take those with a grain of salt. I believe we only calculate up to 2% of your student loan debt as part of your debt to income ratio. Just as a way to make it more fair. We understand that student loan debt is a big issue going on in this country right now. And for folks who are around my age who are wanting to become homeowners, are really struggling to qualify for a mortgage, given that they have like severe student loan debt or thousands of dollars of student loan debt. So we look at those financial qualifications first. Secondly, we ask the question of whether or not you're willing to partner with our organization. So what partnership looks like, it was formerly phrased as sweat equity, but we've kind of like pushed away from that term. Partnership is really a collaborative relationship that we're building with our homeowners. So we're going to provide them financial literacy classes, home buyer education courses, fire safety trainings too, a lot of different like home readiness and preparedness classes to really get them set up in the best position to move into their home. They have to maintain 200 hours of partnership. It used to be upwards of like 400 or 500, but we've recognized that the families that we're serving oftentimes have children that are enrolled in after school programs, or they themselves may be working multiple jobs in order to make ends meet. So we really just wanted to make the process fair and achievable to the families that we're serving. So within those 200 hours of partnership, they have their financial literacy classes, but they're also volunteering on the construction site. They are taking an active role in building their home and really, building their future alongside us. So once we look at your financial qualifications, your willingness to partner with us, which is a real yes or no question, then we're going to ask you to participate in a needs-based assessment. So our needs-based assessment is a series of roughly like 30 questions. And those 30 questions have been determined based upon the HUD's Healthy Home Standards. So we'll ask questions about lead, asbestos, mold, the structural integrity of your home, the cost burden of your rent and your utilities. We'll talk about overcrowding inside your home. Is there multiple people sharing one room? Is the neighborhood that you live in, do you feel safe in it? So those types of questions, and your responses to those questions have a weighted point. And from those points, we calculate them all together. And those with the greatest need will go towards the top of the list. And those with not as great as need as those who are at the top of the list will go towards the bottom. So really just to kind of like put it into perspective, how competitive and how needed this program is in our community. Last year, we opened up our mortgage applications for 30 days at a time. And it was only open for 1 month. We had seen over 400 applications. Nearly 200 of those applicants could financially qualify for the loan. 11 were selected. So it's a very competitive program, but it really has shown us that the need of housing has grown so exponentially here in Rockford alone.
It really has. And as like I said earlier, I'm a realtor, so I've been very much in tune with how the inventory in the Midwest, let alone Rockford, but in the Midwest in general too, is so much down compared to the demand. The supply is low, demand is high, and that's why we're seeing home values and home prices rise. And there really is, in the Midwest, there really is no end in sight because we're not building houses fast enough. I got a feeling as you're taking some of these applications from people, on occasion, you're probably finding people that can actually still qualify for a regular FHA loan and buy a house on their own. Does that seem to be the case sometimes?
Occasionally, yeah, we do find folks that may be able to qualify for a conventional loan with a bank. Um, it really just comes down to like what kind of savings have they prepared for like a down payment with housing. Some folks that we see, on most Americans, I don't believe have like $400 in their savings account. So like the ability to get into home ownership has just been such an uphill battle for most because they just don't have the means to contribute to that huge down payment. Yet we're still seeing folks pay over $1,500 a month for an apartment complex that has not been updated in decades and has only 800 square feet or less.
Yeah. I think I was really lucky that as a young man, I had a couple different people speak into my life as far as finances go. And one of the first guys taught me, basically, he said, you know what, if you always have $100 emergency cash stashed away somewhere, just $100, you feel different about your day. You feel different about your week, because if an emergency comes up or a really great opportunity, you at least got that $100 that you could grab and say, hey, here, if you get a great deal on something and you could tell someone, I know it's $500, here's $100 now, hold it for me, I get to the rest for next week. Now you have an opportunity, right? Or if you just have a minor emergency in your life that $100 cash can take care of, feel different about your day. If you start there and then you build to the point where you've got a month of living expenses stashed away in an emergency fund just in case. And then if you want to become a homeowner, then there's the next step. How do you save that $2,000 to $4,000? Because you're going to need in the bank cash, liquid cash, $2,000 to $4,000 before you start shopping for a home, because there's expenses involved in earnest money, appraisals, inspections, and stuff like that, above and beyond your down payment that you've arranged with your lender. So it's baby. I like how Dave Ramsey explains it. It's baby steps. You do this, you do that, do the next thing, and it really helps a lot. Does Habitat offer any kind of like financial literacy courses and stuff like that to help people qualify?
At this point, we don't offer any financial literacy courses to the public, but we're hoping to build better relationships with a lot of community partners around our area, just to see if we can start opening up financial literacy courses. Right now, I think our financial literacy classes go through BMO. I could be wrong about that. So a lot of our folks will go and attend the classes with BMO in order to get those financial literacy credits they need in order to move forward.
As we've been chatting, I've been scrolling through your website here, rockfordhabitat.org, and we do have the link in the chat for those who are following along on Rumble, our Facebook page, or our YouTube channel. Those links show up there. If you're on other platforms, it probably will not show up there, just so you're aware. So as we're looking at this, shop locally at the Restore, what can you tell us about the Rockford Habitat for Humanity Restore? Obviously, you're not in charge of it, so you probably don't have the big all the minutia, but what the big picture as far as the Restore, how does that help Habitat?
Yeah, so going back to what I was saying, that Habitat is kind of like three companies wrapped into one. So mortgage lender, housing developer, but we're also a retailer. We have the Rockford Restore, which is located right across the street of the Cherryville Mall, right next door to the Harley Davidson Center on Harrison Avenue. And it's our clean material store. So like folks that are doing renovations in their home. Let's say you bought a bunch of flooring to replace in your home at that time. So we can take your leftover flooring. We can take your old furniture. We can get a bunch of different things that you're, willing to part ways with. I will say, like, the only thing we don't have is like textiles. We don't sell clothing. We don't sell shoes. It is really just like a building goods store. Our Restore, it's open Monday through Saturday. We usually have tons of sales going on for the month. Mondays are our 20% off for those who are 65 and older, first responders, veterans, too. So if you want to come shop, that's a really great time to come. We have some designated sale days throughout the month too, sometimes including vintage. What I really like about our restore and what's kind of like set us apart from other restores around the country is that we recognize the opportunity with tons of antiques that we were getting in to set up a whole section in our store dedicated to antiques and vintage. So we have our vintage section. So it's not always included in the sales, but those sale days where we have everything in the store included, will include the vintage items too. And it's just really a jack of all trades store. So you can really kind of find everything and anything at any point.
Nice.
Yeah, and if I could jump in here, you could literally find nuts and bolts all the way up to wash machines and couches, end tables, like you said, antiques. We were in there, it must have been a Monday because it was 20% off for seniors, and we bought our side-by-side sink. What had happened was our trash compactor kind of bit the dust. So we took it out and we replaced the sink because we needed to. It was just old and whatever. So we bought a sink for $60, a side-by-side that was perfect. The price didn't matter. If it was $260, we probably would have bought it because it was just perfect. And it looks good in the kitchen. It fits. Everything is wonderful with it. And the best thing about it was $60 plus $12 off for our discount. So $48.
What
It
a
was
deal.
like, hey, quick, honey, let's load this in because I think we sold it. So anyway, no, it was really good. It's really good. It's kind of always been a home away from home for me, especially when you guys were up here at Northtown. I was very saddened when they moved out to the old MC Sporting Goods out by Cherryville Mall. But that's okay. I make it out there every once in a while. Whenever I need something, you know what? Let's go ahead and
check it out.
So
that's awesome. Yeah, we grew out of our space at the Northtown Mall. So moving over to Harrison Avenue was just absolutely necessary. So much more space, so many more opportunities to like fill it up with items that we can sell. And every time that you shop there, it goes back into our mission of being able to build more homes in our community. So I definitely encourage folks to go out and shop as soon as and often as they can.
Well, before we wrap things up, a couple of things. I definitely want to ask you about volunteer opportunities with Habitat. We oftentimes see that there is a house being built somewhere and that there are teams or individuals that can come and participate in even hammering some nails and helping to put up some walls and different things. What kind of volunteer opportunities do you see here in the near future for Habitat?
Yeah. So just quickly touching a little bit more on the restore, you can always volunteer at the restore.
Yeah.
We have many different jobs, whether it's just, working in our electrical department, our vintage department, or our hardware department, whether it's sorting items on shelves, pricing items to go out onto the sales floor, or we even have individuals that scrap. So items that we get donated that are not in working condition, we'll take those items apart and separate the metals in order to send it to the scrapyard in order to gain a little bit more extra income to go back into the mission. So it's a way that we can be a little bit more sustainable, but as well as build a little bit more lucrative income with some of the items that are no longer in working condition and that we cannot sell. Outside of the restore, we have our construction build opportunities. So we'll be starting new construction on 4 new homes this year in August. 3 of the homes are going to be built in partnership with Rockford Public Schools. So high schools Jefferson, East, and Guilford, they all have construction units inside their class curriculums. And those students get to come out to the build site and build a house from the ground up. So Guilford gets a house, East gets a house, and Jefferson gets a house. So by the time that those students finish the school year, they have a whole home that they've built themselves and really gain that trades experience. We also have our community build, which is open up to the community where folks can register with a group or as individuals to come volunteer on our construction site. We typically build Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. till about 3 p.m., although sometimes we wrap up sooner, just kind of depending on the build day and what needs to be done. Towards the start of the construction season, we're doing a lot more hammer swinging. We're framing at that point. kind of mid-construction season, we may be doing some insulation, hanging drywall, interior work, and towards the end of the build season, we're going to be painting trim, doors, and walls to get families ready to move in, hopefully a couple months after that. So there's really multiple different ports into the construction process that you can participate in. So if like swinging hammers is not your thing, you're not super labor intensive, but you want to come towards the end of our build project and help us with painting, that's something that we can always schedule too. I really love working with groups. I actually have a group that I'll be working with today at City First Church. They're doing their day of service. So I'll be hanging out with their group today from 10 a.m. till 1 p.m., volunteering on the site. We're not working on a house. We're working on a she shed at the moment, which is going to be like our volunteer storage space. So it's going to have some volunteer equipment. Hopefully I can get electricity set up in there, and I can add a freezer where I can stock it full of ice. So that way, when the volunteers are out on the construction site, they have something to keep themselves a little cool, because summer has been brutal this year.
It has been. I love that. And having 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 people show up to do a day's worth of work, that's a lot of man hours and woman hours to get things done. That's awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah. Apart from like just volunteering on the construction site on our normal work days, we'll also have special events, builds with purpose. So we will be hosting our women build this year in August. We'll also be hosting an interfaith build and then a Veterans Day build too. So August, September, and then November are the months for those builds. You can actually visit the registration link on our website by going to volunteer, the drop down arrow, and then clicking builds with purpose. And they should have all the information right there readily available with the details and the registration.
Nice. Easy peasy. I love how easy peasy you make this on your website. This is, ladies and gentlemen, this is how you build a website. Get a professional to build your website, because this is what you want right here. This kind of stuff that makes it easy to find. The fewer the clicks, the better to get to where you're wanting to be. Yeah. So yes, this is wonderfully done. Kudos to whoever built your website.
And that plays right into my hands too, because if I get on a website and I click something, no, that's not it. And then I click something, no, that's not it. 3 or 4 clicks, I'm done. I'm like, okay, forget it. Yeah.
That's the way it works. So
yeah. Back to MASH.
That's good insight, because I built that page.
Nicely done.
Very good. Very good.
Well, before I get to we have our AI questions of the week for you all ready to go. But before I get to our AI questions of the week, is there anything else we didn't ask you about today that you wanted to make sure we highlight, or anything on the website we didn't click on that you want to make sure we show before we move on?
Yeah. One thing is, like, yes, we build houses, we sell items from the Restore, but we're looking to get so much deeper into our community than that. I am the lead of our advocacy group with a co-chair, AJ Teeters. And with our advocacy group, we've been touching a lot of issues specifically with property tax lien sales, since property taxes just came out, and how we can help continue to put safeguards around homeowners who may be struggling financially and are unable to pay those property taxes at this time. Really kind of provide safeguards to maybe prevent them from being displaced from their home at the end of that tax lien cycle of 2.5 years, where then that investor can really petition the courts for a tax deed. So that's one thing that we are working to stay active in our community with, is really tackling housing issues that impact individuals outside of our service area of those who are habitat homeowners. So that's one thing that we are also doing outside of like building houses. So I always encourage people that if you're not really the type of person who can swing a hammer or wants to work at our Restore, but you have a vested interest in advocacy and how we are as a community are prioritizing our homeowners, then that's something that we also have an opportunity for. We would love people to join our advocacy group to really provide some additional insight, but also just to share the information of what we do.
Awesome. Well, the link to the website is in the chat. There's a Facebook page that I'm also going to put a link in the chat as well, so people can go right to that and see what's coming up, tomorrow, this week, next month with Habitat for Humanity here in Rockford. So you can take a look at that as well. All right, let's see how AI did with our questions this week here, Jessica. Okay. Um,
All right.
sometimes we find that we've already covered the topics really, really well, and other times not so much. So let's see how we did. AI says, ask Jessica, what do you see as the biggest challenge facing affordable housing initiatives in the Rockford area, and how is Habitat for Humanity specifically addressing that challenge? Well, I think we already talked about that. Just basically what you do is addressing that challenge and helping people find out if they can qualify for a home through Habitat, or maybe not even need Habitat and go directly to getting a conventional or FHA loan from their bank. I think we covered that pretty well already. The second question was, beyond building homes, how does Rockford Habitat for Humanity work to foster a sense of community and long-term stability for families that it serves? And we talked about the Restore. I think that's a pretty good answer to that question. Is there something else that you wanted to add to that question? Beyond building?
Besides like our advocacy group, that's another way that we serve the community, is advocating for change for our homeowners around our community.
Absolutely. And then the third question, looking ahead, what are Rockford area Habitat for Humanity's key priorities or upcoming initiatives for the next year to year and a half, and how can the community best support your efforts?
Absolutely. So I think with this year, we've really noticed that the rising cost of goods and labor has continued to skyrocket. So in order for us to really serve more of our community, we really need the community support if they're able to make financial contributions to nonprofits like us. Nonprofit giving, charitable giving has continued to go down, especially since COVID. And we really haven't seen that sort of recovery since then. So we really want to continue our efforts at building more homes in our area. We purchased 31 different lots right behind Auburn High School, which we'll continue to build on until all those lots have homes on them. But we can only ever build so many houses with funding that we have allowed or prepared for that year. So like last year, we did 8 houses. This year, we're doing 4 houses because we just want to be more strategic with making sure our dollars can be spread out longer. Instead of doing, multiple projects at the same time, because we've noticed that when you're pouring 5 foundations and 5 excavations, like it adds up pretty quickly. So we want to make sure that we're putting our best financial foothold forward to make sure that we can really continue to invest in this community and build more houses. So if anything, I really just ask the support of our community to make those financial contributions to our organization so we can put more folks in homes where they can build up equity and wealth for their families in the long term.
Donations are going to be really, really huge factor. For those who've been paying attention the last couple of days here that are maybe watching this live or this weekend as we record this, the storms that we just had just knocked out the Kiwanis Brat Days for the year. And that was a huge moneymaker for many, many local organizations. So this year, especially, not just because of the cost of goods rising, but because now this big funding source just got leveled for the year. If you bought tickets to Brat Days, please don't ask for refunds. You please don't ask for refunds. Just consider it a donation anyway, and understand that the tickets that you bought also came with all those coupons, which basically paid for them anyway. So you got some great coupons on your tickets. So keep those, use those, and please, if at all possible, donate to your favorite not-for-profit, your favorite charity. Help them literally and figuratively weather the storm that we're going through right now, not just in the skies, but financially speaking. So anything over and above that you would normally do that you could do right now would be a big, big help for Rockford Habitat for Humanity and all the other organizations that had been benefiting from these large Alpine Kiwanis donations throughout the year that they're just not going to be able to do the next year because of this event being wiped out, which is a real bummer, real depressing for them. And so we'll lift them up in prayer too, because they're going through a tough time right now, just trying to deal with all of that. As a way to transition to get into our next guest and trivia, one more thing from AI. I asked it to give me some funny questions to ask you. And the one funny thing, it gave me 3. The one that I think was actually maybe the most easy to answer is, if Habitat for Humanity of Rockford had a signature scent, what would be the signature scent of Rockford Habitat for Humanity? And the couple of suggestions it gave was either fresh paint, or sawdust and hope. Sawdust.
Ooh, yeah. Sawdust is a really prominent smell, especially in the start of
Yes.
framing. But I'm gonna be honest, people sweat. It's really hot. So I would say like a sawdust and like a
There we
sweet
go.
sweat kind of like mixed together. Put it
That's
in
a
a candle.
man
It's a good
candle if I
time.
ever heard of one. I'm sorry, but that's
I was thinking like chocolate or apple pie. I'm like, sweat? Come on.
I would love that.
yeah.
You're welcome on the site
I
anytime.
think vanilla is a very prominent scent that people put in their homes when they list them for sale, and that's a nice thing.
Yeah.
Or cinnamon buns or whatever else.
Baked bread, stuff like that.
Yeah,
Big
sawdust
bread.
and sweat, I think, would be fun. So anyway, all right, let's get into some of this. And we bring in our friend Vicki from Macktown Construction. Good morning, Vicki. Are you hearing us okay?
I can hear you okay, but looks like I'm frozen on your screen.
You're frozen on our screen, but thankfully you're not like frowning. You're just kind of
Oh my
neutral.
goodness.
Well,
how do I
the
fix
good
that?
news, the good news, it's almost 80 degrees. You will thaw out quickly.
How do I fix that though, guys? That's terrible.
I don't know. I'm gonna turn off
simply
your camera
reset.
here.
Yeah, reset your computer.
Go ahead and
real
log
quick.
off and log back on, Vicki.
Log off and log back in. Okay.
Yeah, let's try
Yeah.
the old off and on method and see if that works.
Okay.
We'll
All right.
put,
Give me 1 second
we'll
here.
put Tom down here in
We
the
can-
center.
We can wait.
You know, sometimes with all the weather and everything else and things get rebooted. I know my computer had some goofy issues this morning as I was logging back on too. It's like, hey, power went out for a minute or two, and so some things got rebooted that don't always get rebooted. And there's another handy tip, Jessica, for everyone who's who has electronics running stuff at home. Every so often, you probably need to shut them down and reboot them yourself before the weather forces you to do it.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Rockford
Go ahead,
IT.
Jessica, I'm sorry.
Updates and such that needs to happen.
Yeah.
So
My
there she
my
is.
my computer has a password on it that I cannot remember, and every once in a while I do remember it, but sometimes I'm like, oh no, what is it? It'll reset, and then I gotta re-log in, and I can't figure out how to get rid of it. So Vicki, I know why you were frozen, because it's Christmas in July.
Oh,
That's why it's Christmas in July. But you have thawed out now, right?
I've thought out very much. Yes.
Mhm.
Good morning.
All right, we ready for some trivia?
Let's get some trivia before we get into all things Macktown construction with Vicki. What do you got?
All right, so here we go. Greg, Vicki, and Jessica, the Queen of Spain. That's my nickname for her. The Queen of Spain. All right. Anyway, I wasn't blanking on your name. I was trying to remember Queen of Spain.
Oh, okay. I thought the trivia was.
All right,
asking us
let's
for
just get to
Tuesday.
trivia, right? Don't worry, I won't quit my day job. I don't have a day job. All right, here we go. Trivia. Your categories are WNBA, not a difficult one, geography, TV commercials, mashups, you're going to like that, cities, games, and then local trivia.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Very first one. I'm going to give you 2 hints on this, or 2 options. Where do the WNBA's Valkyries play basketball? Looking for the state.
Ooh.
Is it California or Utah?
So the Valkyries are the newest WNBA franchise, and they're having a good season as their first season, as far as I understand.
Mhm.
I do know where they play. I'll let the ladies guess, though. I do know this team.
Ooh, I am not a sports gal, but if I had to guess, I think California might have enough basketball teams.
Woohoo! Ding,
So
ding, ding,
I'm
ding,
going to
ding.
throw it out there and say Utah.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh,
No.
She took
No.
that turn on us.
When you said California,
I was
get
like,
that.
stop.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, just stop there.
No, that's okay. That's okay because you guys are a team, and if somebody has the answer and can override, we allow that. So, Greg, what do you think the answer is?
I believe it's actually Sacramento, but it's California for sure.
It's Golden.
Wow.
Golden State, Oakland.
It's Golden State. I think they're in San Francisco, but you could be right on the Sacramento.
They
But
play where the Golden State Warriors play.
which is San Francisco.
San Francisco. Okay.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, and they used to be in Oakland, and that was a big to do a couple of years ago when the NBA's Golden State Warriors moved from Oakland. I mean, just literally across the Bay Bridge.
Yeah.
But people were really upset. It's like Oakland's losing everything. They have a baseball team,
Well, they did.
the Oakland Pathetics, but
That's
anyway.
all there.
Yeah. All right. 1-0. All right. Number 2, geography. Which country's unofficial motto reads "All for one and one for all" as a show of unity and neutrality?
A
All right,
country's
I need
motto?
some consult, Vicki. You got any ideas?
Isn't that Switzerland?
Ooh,
Hmm.
good guess. In fact, that's a really good guess.
Oh, Vicki, I think we should go with that. I'm here
Let's
for
go with
Switzerland.
Switzerland.
I think you would be correct to go with
Woo!
Switzerland. Very good. Very
There you
good.
go, Vicki.
Very good. What gave it away? Neutrality?
Right.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. Here we go. I was going back and forth as to which way I should ask this. I'm going to go ahead and choose this one. Which car insurance commercial series features Shaquille O'Neal, former basketball star, interacting with the animated namesake of the commercial? What is the name of the car insurance company? It's got Shaquille O'Neal, and there's an animated guy that he's on it with.
I want to say Liberty Mutual.
The guy's wearing an army suit.
Oh.
Oh, is it the General?
The general.
General.
Yeah, it's
I love this. I love this team effort collaborative here. This is good. This is good.
This is
All right.
good.
My favorite question of this little round here is one that I didn't come up with. It was on Thursday night, and I liked it so much I decided to incorporate it. Normally these questions are mine, but this one here was very good. It's a mashup. You have to figure out between the two items in here what it is, and it's almost like a before and after on Wheel of Fortune. We've seen that, right?
Okay.
Like Michael Jordan Love or something like that. Michael Jordan Love. Jordan Love, of course, the greatest quarterback in the game today. Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player in the game. So
Hello.
you ladies are like, wait a minute, is he giving us more sports references? Come on now. Hey, ladies like sports too. Not everybody has to or should, but there are quite a few. There are quite a few. All right. This is a mashup. Here you go. If you combine a citrus-based fruit smoothie with the most famous death on March 15th, what do you have?
a Julius
Caesar?
Caesar. No, a Julius. No.
Oh, come on. You
No.
guys are so close.
I don't
That was
know if
really
you
good,
really
actually.
think a Julius.
Julius Caesar
Oh, well,
salad.
what's the citrus?
No.
Dude.
Remember, they're in order. They're in
Yeah.
order. If you combine a citrus-based fruit smoothie with the most famous death on March 15th, what do you have?
A strawberry salad? A strawberry
Okay, well, it has to be
citrus.
citrus.
Yes. Orange Julius.
Orange, lemon, lime.
Put them together here. Greg, what you said. Jessica,
orange?
what you said.
Orange Julius. Orange Caesar.
Orange
Julius Caesar.
Julius?
Orange Julius Caesar. Yes.
Hey, there we go.
Caesar.
I
Yeah.
have to give my wife credit. She played trivia with us on Thursday night, and she came up
That's
with
a
that.
good
She
one. Way to go,
came up with
Kathy.
the answer. I'm
Nicely
like,
done.
oh my God, that was genius. That was perfect. Nicely done. I don't want to put the pressure on you guys, but you're 4-0 right now. 4-0.
He's given us all 4 points so far.
We've had what?
Okay.
He's
Give
giving
you
us
what?
all 4 points here so far, so we're on our way.
Yes, yes, and no help yet. I mean, maybe a little bit of encouragement, but that's okay. That's allowed. All right, cities. In which U.S. state would you find a town called, by the way, because it's Christmas in July? It literally is my Christmas cup. I don't know why I use my Christmas cup. Would you find a town called North Pole? Is it Alaska or Minnesota? Minnesota. Once again, in which U.S. state
I would believe
would
it's
you find a town called North Pole? Is it Alaska or Minnesota?
Vicky, do you feel like it's
I think
Minnesota too?
Gregors, what do you say?
I feel pretty
I don't
confident
remember
it's
a
Minnesota.
North Pole, Alaska, so I'm willing to guess with Minnesota. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Wah, 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 wah.
no,
It is
it must be-
Alaska.
Ah,
I'm
There is
sorry.
a North Pole, Alaska.
really?
There is a North Pole,
Okay.
yeah.
All
North Pole,
right.
Alaska, and it's
Well, that can't be right because it's not the real North Pole.
well, it's closer though. It's right by Fairbanks. It's like 14 miles from Fairbanks, Alaska.
Okay.
Fairbanks is way up there. Oh, I'm sorry.
All right. Well,
in
let's
this,
finish strong.
all right. Number 6. Board games. In a standard game of checkers, how many pieces are there on the board to begin the game? Both sides.
I've never played
Really?
checkers. Ooh, that's hard. Yeah, I've never played checkers.
Is it 28? Is it 7? Is it 14 per side or 12 per side? I think it's 14 or 12 per side.
I thought it was less than chess because how many pieces are in a chess game?
32.
32 pieces in a
Because you got
chess.
8 and
It's
8 and 8
32.
and 8.
Okay, then it's less than chess.
So it's
It is.
So 28 sounds fair
instead of 16 on 16, it'll be 8 on
because it's a smaller board.
Same size board.
8 on 8.
Oh,
Same
is it the
size
same
board.
size
The
board?
configuration
Yeah,
of
I
the
never
items
played
are
it.
different.
Well, then it must be 16.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
it
give
must
you
be 32
two
if it's the
options.
same board.
Yeah.
Okay. It is
Okay.
Here are your two options: 24 or 385. 24 is
24.
correct. Yes, 24 is correct.
All right. So it's 12 on 12. It's 12
It's
versus
12
12.
on 12. Yes.
All right. That's great.
All right.
Ah.
Oh, and Vicki, I apologize because I couldn't remember our second guest. All I knew was Jessica was going to be on first with Habitat, so I got kind of a local trivia having to do with Habitat. I'm sorry I didn't get anything about Macktown, other than the fact that it's a great golf course out there. I love that.
Yeah.
But you have nothing to do with the golf course. I know. All right.
it's
So
okay.
here we go. Here we go. Local trivia. In what year was the Rockford area Habitat for Humanity founded? In Rockford, was it 1988 or 1998?
All right. I know the answer. So, Vicky, I'm going to give you a hint. It's before my time. I'll be 27 this year.
So it's got to be
So- 88.
88.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
1988.
88.
Woo-hoo!
Very good. 6
And I
and 1,
want to
folks.
contribute to the idea of the candle. What about cedar?
Oh yeah. Add a
Oh,
cedar.
cedar. That's
That
a
would be-
no-brainer.
Oh, like that could be
Yeah.
the
Good
sawdust.
statement
It's a
percent.
cedar sawdust.
I like that idea.
Okay, cedar is awesome. You can't see them, but I have shelves with all my teddy bears.
He's
way.
got so many teddy bears. It's insane.
They're not all teddy bears. Some of them are
No.
frogs. Some of them are, I don't know. Anyway, I got a bunch of them. They're all over the place. Anyway, funny story. Somebody walked into my house. It was a friend of mine that hadn't been over for a long time. We're friends, but he just hadn't been over. He came over and he sees teddy bears all over the place. I got them on little high chairs, booster chairs, along the thing. I got them on shelves. And somebody says, "Oh, your wife really likes teddy bears." And I said, "Well, they're not hers; they're mine." And she gets mad at me all the time because I have 600 of them. I might have
Wow.
more than that by now.
Wow.
I love teddy bears. I don't know why. Oh, and by the way, every time I go to the Habitat store, I go to the right over there where there's like supplies, school supplies, stuff like that. There's always little teddy bears, little beanie babies, whatever. I'm
Yeah.
always picking one up. Always. I got my. I
He-
don't even know where he is.
He would
now.
have well over 1,000 if he hadn't been giving them away to his grandkids and his friends' kids. So yeah, it's a
You're
thing.
actually right about that. Whenever Ben, my nephew, my grandson, nephew, where'd that come from? Whenever
know.
Ben's over, he grabs one of my, as he calls them, plushies. He's 8. He like, Grandpa, can I have a plushie? Yeah, here, kid. Here you go. He's probably,
Well, that's what they call stuffed
They do,
animals
they do.
now. Teddy
That's-
bears. They call them plushies.
well, he's going to be jacking the frog real soon. I know. I'm
There
going to
it
have to
goes
keep it
out the
hidden.
door. Ben's taking
Anyway.
it out the door. All right.
Anyway, so yeah, I don't know how we got off on that weird tangent.
Was that question
nice.
7?
Is what?
Was that question number 7? Was that?
That was question number 7. Yeah, I can go longer. You want more? I got a
No,
whole bunch more
We did
here.
okay. With just 3 players, we did just fine. So
You did just fine.
Christy and I played trivia at Louis Tap House Wednesday night. Just the 2 of us. There were 10 teams playing. We were the smallest team, but we didn't finish last, so we were pretty happy that we.
I know you
competed
finished. I don't know, 7th or something like that, 6th or 7th.
7th, I think, out of the 10 teams, which is pretty good with just the 2 of us. So
Oh, and your score was good too, though. The thing is, it's not like 7th place. Wow. No, the top score maybe had 12 points on you.
Yeah.
So you're talking a
Good
couple
night.
different answers, the way things configure, because the trivia that I do on Wednesday nights is numbered 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You put a number value on your answer that you think is the best. So sometimes somebody will be very confident and put a 7 on an answer
and they get it wrong.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
really
hurts.
messes up
That's a
your score.
killer.
Well, we need to let Jessica go. I want to remind everybody to check out rockfordhabitat.org. Very easy. You got that link in the chat if you're following along on YouTube, Facebook, or Rumble. And or just easy one to type in, rockfordhabitat.org. Check out all things Rockford Habitat for Humanity. And thank you so much for your time today and what you're doing for the Rockford and State Line area, Jessica. Very much appreciated.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
And very
today. It
nice
was
to
great.
meet you, Queen of Spain.
The Queen of Spain.
The Queen of Spain.
Have a great rest of the weekend, Jessica. Right, it's time to switch gears and go into all things Macktown construction. Our returning friend and guest, Jessica, joins us now from her hidden location, basement office. I'm not even sure where you are because you got the fake background behind you. But
I was going to say, we know where she is. She's in Macktown. Come on now.
She's at Macktown. For those who have yet to have the chance to, the pleasure to meet you, Vicki, let's learn about yourself real quick. Where did you grow up and go to school, and what led you to be involved with Macktown construction?
Sure. Yeah. So I grew up in Chicago and lived there for half my life. And then I moved out to Rockford about 25 years ago. I went to school in Chicago, both high school and college. And here I am. I had my own business for many, many years. And I've been with Macktown now for about 9 months. I'm their design director. And yeah, it's a design build firm. And so we are, designing and building and doing great things.
So when someone asks you what is a design director, what is it that you were brought on to do at Macktown Construction? What's your specific specialty?
So my specialty is really focusing on the design department. Focusing on the design part of it, making sure that our design work, just elevating the design, not only the quality of what our design output, the design itself is, but the product as far as construction drawings, as far as making sure that the production team has drawings that are helping them, making sure that we're efficient for our estimator and for our team to be able to order materials efficiently, just having a seamless process from beginning to end, that the communication with the clients is there as far as what they envision is what they're getting. And it's just making it all in-house.
Right. So I think something I learned from you back when you had your own business and something that you specialized in that I found very interesting was lighting, the lighting of a house, especially not just a kitchen, but kitchen and living space where people do most of their living. When you don't get the lighting right, something just feels off, and you've gotten really good at kind of helping people figure that out.
I love lighting. It's so important. Yes. Yes.
It's the placement of where light bulbs are and the shadows that get cast or not get cast. When do you want shadows? When do you not want shadows? What brightness of a light bulb do you want? That's all plays into how you feel in your house.
Yeah, well, because lighting is not only it's technical, and it's also it's not only the pretty, but it's also the efficient part of it, right? So we need it not only to function safely, and it's really important, as far as being able to be safe and do the things that we need to function in a space. But then also when all of that is done, then it's the mood part and just the atmosphere, and even just hanging out on your deck and relaxing and watching TV, then you can focus on that part of it too. But just, cooking, chopping vegetables,
Right.
doing things, working in your workshop, there's a lot of things that, you just have to be safe in your home.
No, we don't want shadows in the kitchen when we're chopping vegetables. We want to light from many areas.
So many homes,
is that a carrot or is that my fingertip?
Exactly. So many kitchens you walk into, if you think about it, you're in a kitchen and you're working at your countertop, and most kitchens you have that single bowl, right? Like a smaller kitchen, you have that single light in the center, and you're standing at your counter and your own body is casting the shadow over the countertop, and you're creating your own shadow, on your work surface. It's very common.
Yes. So getting lighting right. And I think a lot of times people can tell when you walk into a house if somebody has had a specific design in mind, or if it's just kind of things ended up where they ended up by happenstance. They're just there. And there's no rhyme or reason. And don't get me wrong, there are some times when that does work. Sometimes some people's idea of decorating and organizing and such does end up working for some strange reason, but a lot of times it doesn't. And having someone design your space might change things in a way that you've never thought of before. I'm sure you've seen some pretty awesome transformations of homes just by rearranging a few things here or there, not just the lighting, but furniture and appliances, other things, tables and such.
That and then also sometimes it's not even that people are doing things incorrectly. It's just that sometimes they get a house that it has everything that it needed to, but it's just the minimum requirements, right? Builders will put together, and it's fair if it's, you consider that it's what people need in order to be able to afford a house. You get the minimum required to be able to just get your home. But then once you're living in it, you realize that for all the needs and everyone living in it, you need a little bit more. It's not quite, it's not quite enough. And so then you realize, okay, we're going to have to invest a little bit of money in order to make it work for how we need it.
Right. Well, I want to bring up your website real quick and just kind of show off what you guys have on the website here. Luxury design, build, home remodeling in Rockford. Macktown Construction Group specializes in kitchens, bathrooms, additions, and whole home renovations. And if I saw correctly, you guys are actually building a house from scratch now too. There's right from the ground up.
Mm-hmm.
And what is your involvement in that? Where are you with your current projects? Anything that you want to highlight and talk about that Macktown is currently up to these days?
So we've got a lot going on. New home construction, wonderful additions. We're doing a lot with multi-generational living. That's just something that has been around for always. Actually, multi-generational living is actually something that's been around forever. And actually for many years, people stopped doing it, mostly in the United States. And it's making a resurgence, and it's really wonderful that it is. But people are starting to invest a lot more into it. And I would say, especially, it was already happening before, but especially after COVID, people are looking at it differently again, as far as pooling resources and looking at, investing money into living together and building bigger homes. And so we are getting clientele that are looking at that. And so instead of having, separate homes or putting people into nursing homes or assisted living, building additions that are functional. So now you have multiple master suites, beautiful spaces. I'm just really excited about it because there's just so many opportunities to make really beautiful functional spaces this way. What else are we doing? There's, because of multi-generational homes, we've seen a lot more, locally too, where butlers pantries, second kitchens are being brought back a lot more. So I mostly additions. Basements were already being finished, I would say, because you don't have to go outside of the space that you already have, but people are seeing that sometimes you just need more space, and you have to build more. And so,
what about dumbwaiters? You've heard of those, right?
I have heard of those.
When's the
I
last
know
time you
it's a-
saw one?
I know, but it's a really
I
old
haven't put
term.
one in. I haven't put one in, but you know what actually people are looking at again is the laundry chute.
Oh yeah.
I recently had
Yeah.
somebody.
I don't know why we got rid of those.
I recently had somebody say they thought laundry chutes were against fire code or something like that, and they were like, you can't sell a house with a laundry chute anymore. I said, I've never heard that. I've never had anybody reject a loan or not pass an inspection because of a laundry chute.
I've never heard
There's
that
plenty of
either. And I guess it wasn't with Macktown. Maybe it was before Macktown. So this was maybe a year or two ago. But no, I had someone else who wanted to put one in. So I think they're great. I don't know. Maybe that was why. Maybe it's a coaching, but I'm not sure.
I love our laundry chute. Every once in a while, I'll find kids' shoes and stuffed toys and all that stuff going down the laundry chute. And then I got giggling grandkids in the other room, But I can understand why they say. Here's the funny thing. In my laundry area, I built a three-sided wall around it. I have a removable wall so you can get to the furnace and the water heater. All right, so the chute comes down right alongside the little toggle, not a toggle. What's that thing that the on-off gas valve thing?
Oh no, yeah.
Well, anyway,
Gosh.
what it does is if you throw down a heavy towel or something like that, it'll catch on that and shut it off. One day, all of a sudden, the house was really cold. And like, what in the world's going on? So I went down there, and sure enough, it had turned it. So I put tape around it. Well, we had an inspector come in. He says, "What do you got tape on here for? You can't have that." And I said, "Well, this is why." And I showed him. He goes, "Oh, okay." It wasn't because it was malfunction. We had just had the new heater put in, but they put it in the same place because the pipes were there. And he said, "Yeah, that's actually a good idea. We'll leave it. It's all good." And now we don't have that problem.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, I guess thinking about it more, I suppose we probably haven't seen them as much because more people are doing their laundry rooms on the first floor or even second floor.
Yeah.
So I suppose maybe the need is going away, but with people, using their basements more, I don't know. There's a lot of different ways that we're going to start using our basements again. So we'll see.
That's funny. I've never heard of anybody having a laundry room on the second floor, but it makes perfect sense. Where do your clothes and your towels go when they're done being washed and dried? They go to the bedrooms and the bathroom. And you got a bathroom downstairs, bathroom upstairs, maybe. So you're going to bring a small basket downstairs to fill in to that closet. But the bulk of the clothes, the majority of the clothes are going upstairs.
Yeah.
If you've got a 2-story.
Oh, some people want to move their laundry rooms right off of the master suite now. They want to take spaces off of their off of the master closet area, and just for the convenience of having it right there. So
hey, and with as quiet as these washers and dryers are anymore, it doesn't bother you to run a load of laundry while you're going to bed, and
that's all well and good until the wash machine backs up.
until something backs up. That's a
Honey, either you wet the bed or the wash machine crapped out.
I'm scrolling through your website here, Vicki, and see that you've got a seminar coming up in August.
We
What
do.
is this all
Yes, we'd love for people to sign up for that. That's coming up just the week after our in-crowd event. Yes.
So August 6th, nailing down the details, discover the remodel experience
Mhm.
before you commit. Thinking about remodeling your home, but you don't know where to start, check out this free seminar, Nailing Down the Details. How long is this seminar, and what can people expect from that?
So this is the first of its kind. So we'd love to have people come in. It'll be so we're kind of working it out. We're going to block off 2 hours. I don't think it'll take really that long. The presentation will be about 20 minutes, and then I'm going to allocate another 10 minutes or so, or however long we need for questions, a Q&A session. Really just walking people through our process of what it looks like to work with us, just from beginning to end of the design process, and then transitioning into what it looks like to work on with our production team. So really, what does it mean to work with a design build firm from the beginning to the end? We just want to give people a presentation and walk them through all of that, and walk them through showing them what it looks like with our software, our client portal, what that communication looks like as well, and how they're kept in the loop of our project communication.
That's nice. When I meet with home buyers, as in my realtor business, when I meet with home buyers, I like to say, the best home buying experience you have is by sitting down for an hour and learning about what's about to happen. And with, when you sit down with a realtor like myself that can go over the process, here's what it takes to buy a home today. Here's what the market looks like today. Here's what you're most likely to expect in most of the situations we see look like this. It relieves a whole lot of the anxiety, because you you pretty much can predict what happens next. And a seminar like this sounds like it's kind of doing the same thing. Hey, here's what we do to help you figure out what it is you want to do with your house, so that the decisions you're making aren't just kind of, what's the whim I'm feeling today. It's you're giving some thought.
Well, it's a huge investment in their home, and it's a huge commitment, because it's a relationship, right? I mean, clearly, whoever decides, when someone decides to work with a firm like this, I've always known that when someone chooses a designer, they're trusting that if they're going to work with me, they're trusting me to guide them to make very, very important and very big decisions for their family on how they're going to spend their money that is going to affect their family for a very long time. So they're trusting me when they're stuck and they're overwhelmed with a lot of decisions and choices that they're going to make, that they're trusting me as the expert on. And I always explain why I make recommendations, but they're trusting my expertise, and so I take that very seriously. And then they're also trusting that Macktown is going to do a good job on delivering on the construction part of it. So they should, obviously people need to do their research. And so it's not something that, it's not a decision that people, can or should take lightly, or a decision that they make very quickly, because the construction doesn't happen overnight either. This is not something that we're going to be in and out of their house in 3 weeks. We're going to get to know each other.
You're and there are, like I said, there are so many choices. There's so many variables and options that it's nice to have someone figure out a little bit about who you are and what your personality's like, to narrow that down to say, okay, these are probably the 2 or 3 or 4 things you actually want to look at. You don't need to look at these 100 options over here. After talking with you and learning about how you live and what you like, these are probably the 3 or 4 things you really want to focus on. Which one of these 3 or 4 things? Does that sound right?
Oh yeah. And the thing is that when I ask people what it is that, when I'm guiding them through their selections, it's, of course, I ask them what they like and, why they like it. Is it, there's a lot of reasons why they like things, and sometimes they don't realize it. But as we're narrowing things down, I also ask them, they're about maintenance.
Right.
Do you like to clean? Sometimes some things are very high maintenance, and if people don't want to have that kind of commitment, I'm not saying that they can't, but they just have to know. It's like if you don't like having a certain kind of cleaning schedule. Like, are you going to make changes for that?
I was in a house yesterday, and we'll get Tom back on screen. There we go. I was in a house yesterday, Vicki, that I was showing to a client where a lighting fixture hanging from a ceiling looked like it had grown hair. And I promise you, it did not. It was not supposed to look that way. It was so dirty and messy. And it's like, yeah, that's one of those maintenance things that if you're not going to maintain it, you probably want a lighting fixture that's snug against the ceiling and not something that's hanging from chains or whatnot,
Right. And the maintaining it, and that's the thing, and the maintaining it doesn't even mean that they have to be the ones to get up and do it, but are you willing to pay someone to come in however often, and it's going to cost you a few $100s to do that? I mean, if you're okay with that, that's fine. Just know that you need to do it.
Right. So again, the link to Macktown Construction is in the chat. Very easy to find there. So macktownconstruction.com, and the seminar page is right on there as well. In fact, this is one worth copying and pasting so people can go right directly to it. So I'm going to put this in the chat as well so people can get right to this page very easily from our Rumble, Facebook, or YouTube channels. Boom, 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 just like that. So I want to bring up your Facebook page again really quick too, so people can take a look at that. Anything that we have not asked you about when it comes to Macktown Construction in general, or your involvement in particular, that you want to make sure we touch on today before we talk about in crowd?
Well, I mean, we talked about the seminar, so we're very excited about that. We talked about multi-generational living, and so that's really important. Also, something that's new is that we are introducing window treatments. We are offering that. We will be reaching out to past clients as well. We're very excited to let people know. So the thing is with window treatments is that they can be automated. And so it's really important that sometimes when we're framing that we incorporate that into the framing process. So I'm showing.
Yeah, well, your birthday, we share our birthdays, so we got that for us.
Yeah, you can just scroll past that. Yeah, so it's just really important that we take that into consideration at the framing stage as well. And it's just again, it's something that people don't always think about window treatments, but it affects circadian rhythm and just even wellness. It's one of those things that has actually come down into the wellness category. So sometimes as we get older, people don't think about always or it's not easy for them to get to window treatments, opening and closing their blinds. So they may keep them closed all the time. And so being able to have a remote or an app on their phone, or really mostly a remote or even just a button to be able to push and open and close those blinds or keep them on the schedule, it's just really healthy for them. And so if we can, now with smart systems, being able to incorporate that and just think about that in advance, it's just a really good thing to be able to do. So we're
really
doing
cool
that.
Automations now you can put on even on your blinds, when to open them, when to close them, which is pretty crazy, pretty wild.
Small things that are just healthy for us.
Well, the last Thursday of the month of July happens to be the last day of the month of July as well, July 31st, Thursday from 5:30 to 7:30. Our next In Crowd 815 networking group event is coming up at Macktown Construction. And what I love about this, besides the great hosts and the awesome food they often have when they host us, is the fact that it's so easy to find your place, because you get on Alpine Road and just keep driving north till it stops. And there you go. So yeah. Alpine Road, the farthest north you can drive on Alpine Road, is where you're going to find yourself ending up at Macktown Construction in their building, which the last time we were there, we were there a little over a year ago, and there was still some construction going on inside as far as the showroom goes. I hear the conference room is all done now and looking really great. So it's going to be a nice time to check out what's going on at the Macktown Construction showroom that's there. Cassie and Tony, like I said, always have some great food. They get the best food. So come for some free hors d'oeuvres and beverages and enjoy some time with networking. Anything else I'm missing? Anything else that you want to talk about as far as our event coming up on July 31st, Vicki?
No, just that we're excited to host everyone. Our showroom is still growing. We're still bringing in new vendors. I love growing our library. That's something that's really important to me. So we're just always under construction because I'm just always bringing in new, just trying to keep things fresh. We always want our designs to be fresh. So we're always looking at new materials. So no, but our conference room looks fantastic right now. So no, we're excited to have everyone come in, and we'll be there to talk and show and do all the
There's
things.
your map. See where Alpine Road kind of curves and ends up here where it dead ends on Burden Road there. So that's where you're going to be on the last Thursday of July 31st for our In Crowd 815 networking group event for July. So there we go. Awesome. I think that covers all of our bases, Vicki, unless you got anything else you'd like to add before we let you go about your weekend.
I think we've covered all bases. Thank you so much for having me.
Looking forward to your seminar. Hope that goes really well, and a lot of people come and attend that. So if there's any other questions, be sure to reach out to Vicki. Check out their website again, macktownconstruction.com. And we really appreciate you guys hosting our event July 31st. All right. Have a great rest of your weekend.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Tom.
All right, our big number of the week, and it's time to zero this out because Tom was the winner of the last race to 10. Congratulations, Tom. Well done. Well done. Boom, boom, save that, and boom, we're back to zeros. 4 trillion is our big number of the week this week, and the answer is first or food. You sent me a text way early on.
I did. Before the show even started, you put the scroll on there, which you don't normally do you?
I left the scroll up, and I kind of assumed that's what you would do, Tom. I assumed correctly.
I like to get it in as quickly as possible.
And let me just double check here my stories to make sure I got this right. And here we go with NVIDIA. Have you been watching NVIDIA's stock?
I have not.
Do you know what NVIDIA is?
I do not. I've heard the name, but I don't know what it is.
NVIDIA. NVIDIA. I believe their main product is computer chips.
Okay.
I know it's computer related. I think their main product is computer chips. So they're in everything. Smart TVs, in your cell phones, they're in everything that just about that we buy nowadays. This past Wednesday morning, their stock surged straight into the record books, becoming the very first company ever to exceed $4 trillion in value, which the company Apple had reached 3.9 trillion at one point, but never 4 trillion. So NVIDIA became the first company to reach that 4 trillion mark. I'm going to take.
What does that have to do with food?
There was
Come on
first
now.
Food is Kraft Heinz that had to recall a whole bunch of product this week, Tom.
I believe it was $4 trillion worth of food.
It might have
Wasn't
been.
it?
It was 360,000 pounds of food.
Yeah, that cost $4 trillion. It was, boy, I remember that. That was quite a haul.
Let me see if I can give this to you. 360,000 plus pounds of turkey bacon. Oscar Mayer turkey bacon original products, all package sizes had to be recalled because of a possible listeria contamination.
Oh, geez.
With an L, listeria. You've heard of Listerine? Well, that might be good. Listeria is bad.
Yeah, no, I've heard of that. Definitely so.
It says no illnesses have been reported yet, but there's been an uptick in listeria-related recalls in the U.S. There's been 65 recalls last year, 47 in 2023. If you consume a food contaminated with listeria, it can lead to something called Listeriosis. Listeriosis can be very harmful for pregnant women, newborns, and those over the age of 65. Symptoms can appear sometimes even weeks after eating the contaminated food. And Kraft Heinz recall includes all the Oscar Mayer turkey bacon original products across a variety of package sizes. And if you have something in your house with a use by date between July 18th and September 4th of an Oscar Mayer turkey bacon product, you probably want to throw it out. It's probably somewhat contaminated by.
Maybe give it to the puppy dogs because the puppy dogs, I tell you what, nothing affects them except chocolate and avocados or something.
Listeria is a type of bacteria that can contaminate food, cause illness. It grows in cool temperatures, even as low as 31 degrees Fahrenheit. When cold cuts, dry sausages, hot dogs, unpasteurized raw milk, soft cheeses, smoked seafoods, and salads. Infection can be serious. Symptoms here. Where's the symptoms? Symptoms include what? Gastrointestinal symptoms usually appear within 2 to 3 days. Sometimes can appear in 2 to 6 weeks. That's the part that blows me away on this one. That's scary to me right there.
That really is, especially since you don't know for 2 to 4 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever, that you've got something going on.
It's sad. How can you prevent it? Well, wash your hands, keep your refrigerator sanitary, clean and sanitize your surfaces. Never drink raw milk or soft cheeses made with unpasteurized milk. Separate your deli meats from raw meat, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, Oscar Mayer
turkey bacon
products were the ones that got the bad stuff. So, anyway, good show today, Tom. We met some great folks.
Was. That trivia part was exceptional. I mean, hey, come on now.
We did well. I'm pretty
happy.
Love
that Orange Julius question.
I think that was Kathy deserves a night out of the town for that one.
Okay, good. I'll finally get some peace and quiet.
Hey,
she can go to a movie. I'll sit home and watch a Cub game.
I'm gonna give some shout outs and thanks real quick. First off, a big shout out. My our niece Kayana got married to the love of her life this week. Congratulations to Nick and Kayana on their wedding. Had a wonderful time celebrating with the families this week. Also, a quick shout out to the Sky Carp. If you haven't been to a Sky Carp game up at ABC Supply Stadium yet, up in Beloit, you need to get up there. It's such a beautiful, beautiful stadium.
Well, let me know when you're going to go next. Just shoot me a call. We don't have to go we don't have to make it an outing together. But I mean, I could meet you there and we just hang out or whatever. Let me know.
Fun time.
Our trivia / golfing buddy Ron, he goes to quite a few Sky Carp games. He's right there in South Beloit, so he goes to quite a few. So who knows? Maybe we could all meet up there one day, just to hang out, watch a little baseball.
That would be fun. Good trivia night up at Louis this week. Had a fun time up there with you and your trivia night out every Wednesday evening at 7
o'clock. Yep.
7 p.m. Check out Trivia at Louis Tap House up in Roscoe. And then I'm not going to get into all the details, but I do want to give a shout out and a big thank you to especially the nurses and the doctor that I saw in the ER this week. I ended up in the ER on Thursday for a few hours and I had a health scare and was really, really, really well taken care of by the nurses and the staff.
You told me the story and it sounded like an episode of 48 Hours or something.
Thank God didn't last 48 hours, but it was a really scary few hours for sure. And I really want to thank the nurses, especially who jumped right in and took care of me and made sure I wasn't gone from this life too soon.
You're worrying a lot of people. You are okay now, right?
I had a very scary Thursday afternoon and we still don't know exactly what happened. But it was something. So I'm getting checked out by my primary care this week, and I'll hopefully get some sort of explanation exactly what happened to me on Thursday afternoon. But anyway, all is well today, at least as far as I can tell. The room's no longer spinning. That's the good news.
That's good. That's good.
If someone wants to look into when the entire world starts spinning counterclockwise, what's going on with your head? What is that
You've
all about?
either drank too much, which is not the case with
Which I
you,
didn't do,
or
yeah.
you got something else going on. So we're
I
going to
was
go with the latter on this one.
I was looking at listeriosis to see if this was something I
that's
like.
That's what popped into my head. Have you eaten turkey bacon lately?
Or maybe it was an Oscar Mayer hot dog over the 4th of July, but I don't know that there was any turkey bacon involved. Maybe there was. I was at a party on the 4th of July that had bacon wrapped Smokies and bacon wrapped something else.
Okay, so I can almost guarantee you they would not use turkey bacon, only because turkey bacon is a little bit more expensive because you have so much fewer bacon strips.
Yeah.
That would be very, very expensive. And turkey bacon's okay. I like turkey bacon actually, but it's it doesn't have the same taste. It doesn't have the same salty flavor as regular bacon. So,
Right.
but you may want to check. You may want to give them a call and say, "Hey, what kind of bacon did you use?" "Oh, we used that Oscar Mayer turkey bacon. It was really good."
Listeriosis. Maybe that's what it was. Anyway.
Yeah.
So there you go. Check that out. Check out our Patreon page. If you go to patreon.com/incrowd815, there's a way that you can support what we're doing here on the podcast. And if you have not checked it out yet as well, check out our website. We've got all of our event stuff on there. And if you go to the website, check out our merch. We got some cool merch. I think we got some cool merch. Scroll down. When you go to incrowd815.com, click on the merch site, check out the t-shirts and the hoodies and the hats and all the stuff that you can get with our partners over at Fresh Prince of Loves Park. There's some fun, cool stuff there. We'd love to see more hats and t-shirts bouncing around. And we are working on a new product here with our newer logo. So if you're excited about this updated logo, we're going to get some of this on these shirts and stuff as well. So that's coming soon. Our next event, our next networking group event, we obviously just talked about with Vicki up at Macktown Construction, but our actual next event is this Thursday night at Big Timber, where we're going to be doing a little bit of throw for dough. Throw for dough, yeah, throwing for dollars, throw for dough at Big Timber. Network throw, win cash for your favorite charity. The 6 p.m. for drinks and networking, 7 o'clock for axe throwing, and a chance to win money for your charity of choice. It's $10 to play the mini tourney. All proceeds will go to the winner's chosen charity. So looking forward to doing that on Thursday night. Boom. All right. I think the bases are all covered, Tom. Any last things before we rock and roll for the weekend?
Well, the bases are covered, but have we covered the end zones?
The end zones. We're just a couple weeks away from the Hall of Fame game, NFL season.
We are. And I was watching one of my favorite podcasts, and that is Locked On Packers with Peter Bukowski. This guy is so good. So good. Is he a homer? Well, I don't know. Define the term homer. And I don't mean, not that homer. He isn't really, because he will tell it like it is. He'll say it with consternation in his voice. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? The fact is, we had this, and that last year, and we haven't changed it. Why are we, anyway, he's very, very good. And I strongly recommend it. It's on YouTube. You can get it on a dozen different platforms, but YouTube is where I watch it every single day. I do miss once in a while, but I get some really good information off of that. Basically what he was saying in a nutshell, because I can't remember all of what he was saying, but he was basically going over the NFC North. I almost said Central, but I still call it the Central. Anyway, the NFC North. Detroit has taken a decided step back because they lost their offensive coordinator and their defensive coordinator. They lost Frank Ragnow, all-pro center, and another guard or tackle on the offensive line, and they are going to be a diminished offense. You still have some great. You've got Jameer Gibbs, and you've got David Montgomery as your running backs. Those are two of the best in the business, bar none. You've got one of the best receiving cores in all of football. You've got Amon-Ra St. Brown, and you've got Jamison Williams, and then you've got Sam Laporta. You can match up with that group with Green Bay's offensive line better than Detroit. Green Bay's running backs, Josh Jacobs is top 3 in all of the NFL. He was third in rushing, and third only to Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley. So third in the NFL. He might have been fourth. But so we match up in the running game. Passing game, I believe we have a better quarterback. Jared Goff's good. He's very accurate. But he's good because he drops back and flips the ball out really quickly. They are good with the hurry-up offense, and that is what makes Detroit click. But with a different offensive coordinator, possibly a different philosophy, a diminished line, I look for Jared Goff to be hurried a lot. And if he throws a couple of interceptions, one or two more, not per game, but I mean, say maybe 5 interceptions in a 10-game span, and 2 of those result in a loss. Well, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
There's your answer as to where Detroit is going. Minnesota, first-year quarterback. I don't care that he's been on the team for a year. He's never played. He's never played it down in the NFL. He got injured in training camp before they even had any spring training games. Any games with
Didn't he get injured in the first preseason game?
I thought he got injured. Maybe so. Maybe it was the first.
I thought it was like the second series of the preseason or something like that. But I could be wrong.
Okay, you're right. I thought he got injured in like mini camp, but I think you're right. Nonetheless, that's not really an NFL snap in real time in real season. So, JJ McCarthy, the jury's out. The jury's out on him. I don't see that as being almost like Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams, we all know, is a good quarterback, but he had an awful first year because of the coaching. Now Minnesota's coaching's a lot better than Chicago's coaching.
Well,
now
it was last year. We'll see about this.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I think it's going to be better this year, but then again, we don't know. Jury's out on Ben Johnson. Jury's out on JJ McCarthy. So, but the jury's not out on Kevin O'Connell. He is O'Connor.
He's good.
O'Connor or O'Connell. I keep doing this. O'Connor, I believe. I think it's. I don't know why I can never remember this guy's name. This is ridiculous.
I'm looking. Kevin O'Connell.
See, I did it again.
Kevin O'Connell and Brian Flores.
Yeah. Well, Brian Flores is he still there? I guess he is. Yes, he is.
June 20th, 25. Vikings have a coaching duo that can go toe-to-toe with anyone, says Sports Illustrated.
You're not a big fan of Brian Flores. I'm just not.
As a person, no, but as a coach, he seems to be something else.
I'm not a fan of him as a coach either, because he look what happened in that Green Bay game when they went up 28-0, and then we managed that weird fumbly touchdown recovery thing going into the halftime with about a minute left, and then we got a touchdown. Then it was 28-7. We outscored them. 23. It was 31-29, and we had 7. So, help me with the math here.
The comeback happened. We almost pulled it off.
Well, yeah, we outscored them like 23-3, or 24, 26-3, 20, whatever it was, 22 to 3.
The game looked hopeless.
22-7 is 29.
It was crazy.
Oh, it was just the whole thing was nuts, and we got out to we got into a deficit of 28-0 before you could even blink. I'm like, what am I watching here? What is going on with this? We're a 2-1 team. We've looked pretty good. Jordan Love is back, but Jordan Love was still injured. And there's your problem right there. So, and then, of course, the rest of the division is Green Bay and Chicago. Chicago, they're not winning that division. And I'm not even sure they're going to challenge for a playoff spot. I think they could go 7-10. It's not good enough. 8-9, probably not good enough. 9-8, maybe. But I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna have that big of a turnaround because Caleb Williams is good, but maybe Ben Johnson's magic. Maybe he truly is the quarterback whisperer, and maybe they'll surprise us all. Maybe they'll go 11-6, and they will be a wild card. But then, what does that do with Green Bay? I think Green Bay is a better team overall. I think they're better than Detroit. I think they're better than Minnesota, and we know they're better than Chicago. So I see Green Bay winning that division. I do. I do. I think with a 12-5 record and possibly 13-4, but they have a brutal second half of the schedule. So I don't think the division winner is going to have a 15-2 or even a 14-3 like they did last year.
No,
it's just not going to happen.
They're playing pretty much the best of the AFC this year, and
yeah, you got Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Cincinnati, and Baltimore. Those are 4 teams that can win on any given Sunday. The Pittsburgh thing, I think Pittsburgh's going to be the dark horse, black sheep, whatever. I think they're going to be the bottom feeder, the bottom dweller. I just believe that Pittsburgh is going to have their first losing season under Mike Tomlin in his 19th season, and I believe this is going to be his undoing.
This might be it.
I think they'll move on from him. I also think, and I'm not predicting this as in I hope it happens. No. I don't want to be right on any of this stuff, but I also think that Aaron Rodgers is going to be replaced in week 4, week 5. I think he's going to have a very, very bad first few games, throw some interceptions, possibly get banged up a little bit. He's not fast anymore. He never was really fast, but he was smart and he was elusive. He was able to get away and he knew exactly when to run out of bounds, when to cut it back in, when to slide. He's lost a step or two. He's probably lost 2 or 3 steps. And I think that's going to play out every Sunday in the first few weeks. And I just think he's going to be gone by week 4, week 5. Not gone off the team, but relegated to a second string role. And I think they're going to go with what they've got. Who did they? I forget. They have Shedeur Sanders. The other one, Dylan Gabriel. I think it was Dylan Gabriel. Is that right? Am I right on that, or is that Cleveland? That was Cleveland. Never mind.
That's Cleveland.
That was Cleveland. We thought they were going to pick up Shedeur Sanders. Yeah, see that Mason Rudolph.
Mason Rudolph, yeah.
Mason Rudolph is their backup. He's back with Pittsburgh now, but Mason Rudolph's had his chances, but they may just say, after a 1-4 start or maybe a 2-3 start where they haven't looked very good and the next few games are very tough, they may just say, you know what, Aaron, sorry, we're going to sit you and we're going to play Mason Rudolph and see what we got here. Those are kind of my predictions. I don't expect them to come true necessarily, and I don't even really want them. I don't hate Aaron Rodgers. I wish the best for him. I would love to see Aaron Rodgers resurrect his career and go 11-6 and make the playoffs and maybe win a playoff game and give Pittsburgh some hope. I like Mike Tomlin. I think he's a quality coach, but I also think he's a little bit stagnant, somewhat like Mike McCarthy became at the end.
Right. You got to change with the times, and
you kind of do.
It could be tough. It's the top stories right now as far as the Steelers go. Pittsburgh Steelers trading TJ Watt getting dangerously real. That's Sports Illustrated. Yahoo says Steelers TJ Watt trade appears closer after this update. So
please tell me he's going to Green Bay.
Oh my gosh, please come to Green Bay, TJ. Come back.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Come back to Wisconsin.
That right there could be the missing piece. That could be the missing piece because Green Bay's defense right now can play with any defense in the NFL. Their weakness is the defensive line. They drafted a couple guys. They drafted well, but they're rookies and they're unknowns. So what do you think? I mean,
the last time we had such a stellar defense was Clay Matthews was doing that role. So TJ Watt could be the next Clay Matthews on the Packers if they could bring him in.
Yeah. But right now, what we've got on defense is we've got 2 of the best safeties and maybe the best safety tandem outside of Detroit with Kirby Joseph and I can't remember his name. But anyway, the best safety tandem in football may be Detroit, but Green Bay is a very close. It's a 1 and 1A, very close second with Xavier McKinney and Evan. Why are names escaping me? Evan,
Is it
the
Evan?
other guy, number
Yeah.
33, I believe. Anyway, and then you got Javon Bullard at a safe at a cornerback spot. Never mind the whole Jair Alexander. He was there for 7 games last year, 6 games the year before. I mean, he's not been part of the team per se or part of the scheme for the past 3 or 4 years. He's always injured. So let Baltimore have him. He'll probably play all 17 games and have 14 interceptions. Who knows? I wish him the best as well. I like Ja. I do like Jair Alexander. I have no problems with
If
him.
he can stay healthy, he's great. He just haven't been able to stay healthy.
Exactly.
Evan
But he's
Williams.
Evan Williams, of course.
Evan
Evan
Williams,
Williams.
So
Evan Williams.
Xavier
And he's
McKinney,
so
Evan
good.
Williams, and then of course the
Yeah.
other cornerbacks, Keyshawn Nixon, Nate Hobbs, and Carrington Valentine.
And Nate Hobbs is the one. He's the X factor. They picked him up from, I don't remember where they got him
Kansas
from, but
City? Yeah, I forget where he came from.
like Seattle or Atlanta or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, he is he's very good. Deceptively good, deceptive speed, quickness, whatever, along with Javon Bullard. And what this does for the Packers is it allows them to play center field with Xavier McKinney. And a lot of the reasons why he started out with 6 interceptions in 6 games and then dropped off and didn't have many, he ended up with 8 for the season, is because they stopped throwing at him, much like they
Right.
stopped throwing at Richard Sherman when he was with Seattle. So his numbers didn't look as great, but he was every
He's disrupting.
bit very disruptive. Absolutely.
Very disruptive.
And this is why Seattle had such a good defense. Richard Sherman was a big part of that because he was so doggone good. Anyway, so this is good in terms of the Packers defense, and then their linebacking core. Oh goodness gracious. Edgerrin Cooper could be the next Ray Lewis. He could be the next Fred Warner. No relation to me, I wish. My younger brother. Actually, he's young enough to be my son.
Right.
Yeah.
Most of these players are now.
My son from another Hun.
Let's not go there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, well.
But anyway,
what is?
And then just while you're doing that, I'm switching to the offense real quick. We talked about the offense, the offensive line for Green Bay. It's an embarrassment of riches. We have so many guys, so many moving parts, and then we've got if Marshawn Lloyd is healthy this year, he could be the X factor. He could be our Jahmyr Gibbs, just like he is. Jahmyr Gibbs is for Detroit, along with David
Montgomery. Yeah,
David Montgomery. Yeah. This could be a very dynamic backfield. And then you've got, I don't know if Emmanuel Wilson is going to be around. And who was the other guy? Chris, the other running back, he was really, really good at the end of the year. I forgot his last name again. I think I need another cup of coffee to fill my Christmas cup.
Well, we've got the first preseason game August 9th, which is, I believe, a Saturday night. The Jets are at the Packers for the first preseason game, and then the Packers go to Indianapolis to play the Colts on Saturday, August 16th at noon. And then Seattle comes to Green Bay for the last preseason game, August 23rd. So all Saturday games for preseason before the regular season kicks off September 7th, when the Lions and the Packers face off for the afternoon game, the game of the week, basically.
I am planning to be there.
Here's hoping you can make that. That would be awesome.
Well, I already have my tickets to the Cubs game, Cubs and Washington Nationals on September 6th. So my son and I are going to go on the 6th, and then we're going to stay overnight in Green Bay and then go to the Packer game on Sunday.
So your opening, their Packers opening season, Lions at home, Commanders at home, on the road against Cleveland, and on the road against Dallas.
Yeah.
So if you finish those 4 games at 3-1, or 4-0, I think you're doing pretty good. But 2-2 is probably I wouldn't be surprised if they're 2-2 after those first 4
Well, they
games.
were 2-2 after week 4 last year, and were it not for the fact that the Lions had an out of their head season, and Minnesota had an even more out of their head season. Nobody predicted that for either two teams. Detroit, we knew was going to be good. Minnesota, nobody knew that Sam Darnold was going to come in and tear it up like that. That's a testament to the scheme and to the quarterback whisperer, Kevin O'Donnell.
Oh, God.
Kevin O'Donnell.
All right. Well, let's wrap things up. Next week, we are visiting with Andrew Mahan, the Gateway Performing Arts Center in Byron Civic Center, performing The Little Mermaid coming up here down in Byron at their beautiful, beautiful theater in the Byron Middle School. And then from Byron to Boone County, we'll have Tom Ratcliffe back on to talk about all things 2025 Boone County Fair, always one of the biggest fairs of the state. It's more than one person has said it's even better than the state fair. You want to come to Boone County Fair because it's so good.
It is huge. It is absolutely huge and wonderful. We'll probably go again this year like we do every year. We also go to the Elkhorn Elkhorn State, Walworth County County Fair. Yeah, in Elkhorn.
They also do a bang-up job, an amazing job of putting on a fair every year up there.
That one rivals the Boone County Fair as far as in the area. That one rivals it like no other. I mean, those two are phenomenal. It's
pretty amazing that two county fairs that close to each other are that good. It really is. Yeah. It's pretty amazing. Incrowd815.com. Check out again the updated website and our new merch. And remember, you change the world when you help one person. Be a blessing to someone this week. We'll do the same and meet you back here next week for another InCrowd815 podcast. Tom, have a great week.
You too, buddy. Stay safe. And, keep me posted on anything medical, if you don't mind.
Will do, and hope to see everybody at Big Timber on Thursday night. Bye-bye.
Hope to see you on Wednesday.
815 in crowd. 815 in crowd. 815 in crowd. 815